So these are different AI assistants that my own assistant uses. So we have the checklist creator assistant, the brain dump organizer, email draft assistant, contract repurposer, and the SOP and document generator. So I kept it super simple, so you guys can just grab the prompts that I prepared, and then you guys can throw it into ChatGPT. So the first one, the checklist creator assistant. This is essentially if you have a big thought and you have no idea how to actually put it into your to-do list. So you can say, I am a role for a type of business. I need a checklist created for what is the result that you want. So if you just want the AI to break down a really big project that you have in your head that you're not yet sure how to break it down into an actual step-by-step, you can use this. Are you ready? And then you can ask it, format it as whatever you want. So this is created with Gemini. So just because I like using different tools to show people, it's probably going to be the same result. It's how you use it. So we have, how to. Here's a checklist on how to help your high-end food service business while clients as they sit down at the table. So, pre-arrival initial setup, it has that to-do list, ambience check. So this becomes even a SOP that I can give to a team if that was the type of business. So this is specifically for a client that I work with who has a business that they were starting up, and they're like, how can we actually set it up? What does that look like behind the scenes for other people's business? And I'm like, why not ask AI how it would do it? So again, if you guys just hop on your phones, type in this prompt, you already have a checklist creator assistant. And the cool thing is if you use Google Tools, you can have Gemini create a task for tomorrow at 10 a.m. to put on makeup. I just made it. And then on my calendar, it says put on makeup, 10 a.m. This was, I think, June 29. And I asked it to add it on there. So super quick and easy. This is almost borderline towards creating an AI agent because you're using cross tools, but it's still under Google's AI system. But it's a cool thing that if you just ask it, let me open up my calendar. There's nothing super secret on my calendar. It's all just Leanne doesn't have a proper balance in life. Where is that thing? I keep seeing it, and now that I'm on here, I don't see it anymore. Oh, Gemini. Oh no, that'll open Gemini. Yeah, I have no idea where it is now. But typically you'll see Gemini's symbol on the side, like this one, and then you can talk to it, you can ask it questions, and basically go back with it back and forth on like how else you can add the checklist. But it's usually just an AI assistant on the side, and you can ask it to do anything. One cool thing that it did for me the other day was I asked it to read an email, which is the next thing that we'll talk about also later. And I asked it, can you grab the to-dos from this email and put it onto the checklist? And it did. So it was really cool just to see how it interacts with different things. Next is a brain dump organizer assistant. And honestly, you can do it right now. If you guys pick up your phone and you start talking to Gemini, ChatGPT, and you just brain dump of like, I am overwhelmed, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do this, I have a 5 a.m. meeting tomorrow, but then I also have a 9 p.m. meeting tonight, so I can't really get up, how can I organize it? So the brain dump organizer assistant just makes sure that you are able to make sense of the loud brain that we sometimes get. So this one is just, can you give me I basically just dumped it, and then I said, can you help me automate my life and into Gemini Slides? And then, here's a checklist to keep you organized. Let's first outline your Google Slides. Let's, we'll start with email automation. This is when I was creating slides for a telecom company that I did this workshop with. And it's like, hey, can you just help me with this? This is too many things in my head. I just need you to organize it. So then I have a Leanne's second brain, and I will not open it as much because it has too much of my ramblings in there. But this is the one that's set up for my rambling. So I have a task management assistant, where anytime I have a task that I have add to my list, it adds it there. I have a 30-day reset plan because I was thinking of resetting how my life would look like. I have Notion formula helper, and then consistent with travel routines. So I have different second brain parts of me that I've dumped a lot of my personality into, that it can then give me answers based on what I gave it or how I prompted it in the first place. So that's essentially what a brain dump assistant is. Next is, again, an email draft assistant. You can just say, I need you to act as my admin virtual assistant for writing emails. Here are examples of emails I've sent. That way it learns your voice and what you do. And then asking it, are you ready? So the cool thing with Gmail is it does have it right there. Where you can ask it to write a particular email. You can even use it for responding to people. Have you guys seen that on Gmail where you can use it, to write the email really quickly, and it will reference that email. And basically write this really cool thing of propose setting up a workshop on how to get started with AI. The goal is provide new college graduates. So this is when I was pitching myself to a college to do a workshop for them. And I just used AI basically on setting that up. So super quick and easy. I have a Leanne email writer somewhere in here. For when I'm stuck, email writing assistant, I will just grab the long email that I'll get, throw it in there, and it'll respond as me. So I've trained it on FAQs that I usually get from clients or from the employees or the assistants, and it basically knows how I would usually respond anyway. And then it'll write the response, and anytime that I change something, I'll throw it back. I'm like, hey, this is the actual email that I ended up sending. So then it learns from the ways that I've changed it, so then it remembers it for the next time. Clear so far? Okay, next is an AI content repurposer. You guys already saw that. This is basically literally the prompt that I used it with. You are a marketing assistant, follow this process, ask for the transcription of the YouTube video, format the content into SEO-friendly blog post, create a structured outline for an Instagram carousel graphic, and then extract 3 to 5 engaging posts. Now you guys can change this depending on what your actual content repurposing looks like. For me, this is typical for my team, is from a YouTube video, it becomes a blog post and everything else. Actually, I think I put it on these slides. So from a long form content, which is a video, podcast, or a blog, it gets turned into the short clips. We use Opus Clip, if you guys haven't heard of it yet. There's another tool that I'm exploring, but I'm forgetting the name at the moment. And then it turns into the carousel post with Canva and Gen AI. And so then a graphic post, and then of course it reposts it. So this is essentially how we're posting 30 to 50 pieces of content every single week with my content, and essentially would look like, take a picture. Okay. And essentially it would look like this, where again, YouTube video, it turns into a blog post. It's posting on Medium, on LinkedIn newsletter. This is the graphic that'll come out with. Of course, we have the multiple mini videos that'll be posted on Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube Shorts, and TikTok. And essentially would look like this. So yeah, this has been 4 or 5 years in the making of creating something like this, where it's now just automated with my team and I don't have to worry about it. I literally just have to do videos like this on my camera, talk to it as if I'm talking to a person, and then everything else gets taken care of. Any questions on any of this? Yes?
What is Gemini?
I just put it as generic, like I use ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, so I just put it as a generic thing. Yeah.
Can you go over what's that thing?
Yeah.
Do you trust the content automatically, or do you review it? Because when you generate text, for example, I always review, but for the content, like breaking down to short videos and all of that, do you?
Yes, so still being reviewed, but yeah. So instead of my video editor basically working 3 hours on editing a video and then chopping it up, he'll just review the chop up, and then with Opus Clip, you can adjust where it starts, and then it starts creating captions, and you can just double check it. So I do also still recommend double checking, just because AI can be wrong, just like any human. So still double checking. Yeah. Yes. You technically can. It's just not customizable, which is why I'm not using it yet. So, do you have an example? I'm trying to remember the last time I tried to use it. But that was my problem. It's like I would generate it with AI, like I'll create the image. My problem was I can't move images, I can't add my logo easily or remove a logo. So it's still, I can't play around with the elements. But I use it, like I said, let me see if I can give an example, which was so cute. So my assistant made it, and I was so surprised when it was posted. A lot of people were commenting on it, where she created. So I did a vlog on like being in Japan. It was a co-living basically that I went to, and she just used it for creating this cute little GBs of my travel photos. So that's how we'll use it. Is we'll use it to create this, but this is still with Canva. Yeah. So then I can customize and change how it looks like. Any other questions? All good? Okay, so lastly is an SOP or document generator. So this is if you guys want just quick documents to be created. So for this one, I need you to act as my operations assistant. Are you ready? Here's the format to follow. Here's the transcript of the task. So what I usually do for clients is when I create this, especially for them, is I'll ask them to create a video out of the walkthrough essentially on how to do a certain task. And then they'll grab the transcription of that and throw it into this AI assistant. I'll show you an example. So I have a Leanne SOP writer, custom GPT, but then again, you guys can just make this on your own. You can create a project where it's all just creating SOPs for the business. I'll create a SOP. So then it says, please place the transcription so I can make the SOP. So then you guys can kind of do the same thing where you can go ahead and upload the tutorial video on YouTube. You can grab the transcript and then it'll do this. And this is essentially formatted that I can now copy and paste this into Notion. Because that's how I have it set up, is to make it Notion friendly. So yeah, so I grabbed it, SOP writer, introduction, how Leanne's executive manages her content creation, what you'll need, essentially the step-by-step, the steps for it, and then the checklist, the way that I have it formatted. So super quick and easy. If you're going to be training a new employee or onboarding a new employee, you can do the same thing where you just throw them like, hey, here's the SOP and checklist on how to do it. And yeah, different ways to make AI assistants actually work. Make sure that you track recurring tasks, create systems, automations, the templates. Make sure that you're eliminating, not adding. So centralize your tools. You can test as many as you want, but make sure that you're narrowing down into the ones you actually use, and don't get swept up by trending tools. And multiply yourself, not substitute. That's the main thing to keep in mind is AI will only be as good as you are. You can't be a crappy copywriter and ask AI to be the best copywriter because you can't tell what good copywriting is. Same thing with if you're a really good copywriter, AI can only make you better. Make sure to keep in mind that you can have your team use AI and make sure that you document the outcome. So if something turns crappy 3 months later, look at the tools that you changed, look at the processes and systems you changed so you can track it back. So this is essentially the world that I see in the next coming years where people aren't replaced by AI, people are using AI to work and do better and better things in their everyday. So thank you so much. I hope that was good. I know that was a lot of demo and making sure you guys understood. Feel free to, when you scan this, it'll lead to my LinkedIn. You guys can chat me on there. My assistant, who's online right now, will send you the Notion page, essentially, of the notes that we created for you. So yeah, that's it. My real assistant.